Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. I am Elisa Meredith with Tailwind, and I am joined today by my friend Jeff C., mainly Pinterest tips. And
Howdy.
is it really you, Jeff? I feel like I haven't seen you in
I
forever.
know it's been a while, but it's only been a month, but a lot of stuff has gone on. So
That's true.
very exciting. So I'm getting
Yeah.
ready. I'm going over to Tailwind right now
Are you?
to try to share this out. So it says we're live, so
Okay.
that's working.
That's excellent. It's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
So hey,
everybody.
everybody share this out.
Yes,
Do
please.
it. Come on. Yes.
Share it.
I appreciate it. So I got to share it to my account here.
Okay. Yeah. So we are here. We have some fun springtime looks that I'm for the show today.
Springtime.
Got a
It sounds like we're
butterfly.
talking fashion. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Well,
We're not.
there's a butterfly right in your mustache. Looks very nice.
Oh, that's great.
We know how I
You
took
didn't
that
tell
off.
me you were gonna do that.
Well, I haven't played with those buttons yet, so I need to. We're
Oh,
using
great.
Be Live to broadcast to Facebook Live. But we needed a springtime theme because we are here to talk about spring cleaning for Instagram. So if you're anything like me, which maybe you are, maybe you're not, you just kind of post stuff on Instagram and don't pay too much attention to your profile and your strategy. So we are here to change that. And we have the added benefit of having a whole bunch of new features we can use.
Mhm.
And Jeff stays on top of all those for us. So let's see, we have a whole bunch of stuff. So let's start with our profile.
Sure.
Okay. So there's something new we can do in our profile. What is that?
Yeah, we can add hashtag and username tagging in your profile, which is very, very cool. Instagram seems to be actually doing more to get people to stay on your profile page. So, because to be honest, that's the only place you can have a link back to your stuff, unless you've gone over 10,000. You can do the swipe up on stories and all that stuff. But for your profile page, that's where, like for if you have a business profile, that's where your link is. I mean, that's where you kind of want people to go. And Instagram seems to be making that a more valuable space to land on because of, once again, you can have highlights there from your stories where a lot of people have done some really great ways to, they lay it out and they talk about like their blog posts and their appearances or what they're, then they have these stories that you can follow along. Like for Social Media Examiner, we have a whole section about the journey, that story that Michael Stelzner does, where I put the trailer up and they can watch all those all the way through. We also have a thing where we have Instagram takeovers, and there's a highlight. You can see all the Instagram's takeovers. Like our friend Ian Anderson Gray had a really funny one that he did. And now the cool thing is those stories that you highlight, you can put there on your profile page. So people can go and kind of dig into your content on that Instagram profile page. And now you can actually put your those hashtag links, which is very, very cool. So, and your usernames too. So usernames, I don't know how much I would use, and hashtags. We had a discussion about this about in Social Media Examiner, as like, what do we, for us it's a branded hashtag. And I think a lot of businesses, like for me, I have hashtag mainly Pinterest tips. So that makes sense to put in my profile so people could dive in and see more about that. General things like hashtag social media or hashtag Instagram, I think wouldn't really help people on your profile. What are your thoughts, Elisa?
Well, I was going to ask you because I haven't really played with this. Are hashtags in your profile, does that make you discoverable in the hashtag search? Does that make your profile discoverable?
It, from what I've seen, it can. I think if it's the narrow
Specific
niche
one. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I wouldn't do it for like social media or some of those
Right.
big terms. And the other thing is, it counts against how many characters you can have in your profile. So you have to be very strategic of what hashtag you're going to use, because it does count if you're having like those, have cool icons, and how you tell what you're all about, like Instagram, or like for you it'd be promoted pins, Pinterest, princess of promoted pins.
Yeah,
so that's going to take up space. So you got to be very, very. You got to think of your strategy. Is it worth it for that hashtag to take up that space you could use for something else? So that's one of the things you got to really think of. But it's cool that you can have that now on your profile page, and it's just one more thing I think Instagram's doing to make that profile a much more valuable space.
Okay, that's very cool. Now, as far as tagging people in your bio, I think that's kind of cool, because if you had a Jeff C account and you had a Mainly Pinterest Tips account, you could tag your Mainly Pinterest Tips, Or maybe you wanted to say Instagram manager for Social Media Examiner, and you share Social Media Examiner, so people could kind of get an idea for your clients or for businesses you support. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, and vice versa. You know, if you have a business account, you know, say something like, follow my personal profile over at, you know, over here. So it makes sense for me. Like, I haven't done it yet, but like for my e-commerce business, where, you know, Manly Plunder, putting that in there would make sense, because those, and the same way, vice versa, because you want to kind of have that cross branding between those accounts. So that's very, very cool. It just depends if you really want to do it for your company. I mean, some people don't really want to have, they want to keep their Instagram as their like personal kind of thing. Like mine is still, I still haven't done a business account for Jeff C, just because I just post what I want to on that account. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I run Instagram for so many other companies. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to put. It's you know, it's kind of that kind of a situation. So
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so does Manly Plunder have its own account now?
It does, but I have barely used it. So I've got a whole, I've been planning out the strategy and the content calendar for that. So I've got to get that.
All right. Well, we'll ask about it again next month.
Yeah. But we'll make sure we talk about that when we get to the when we talk about the shoppable stuff, because that will tie into that. So
okay, awesome. Will do. Okay, so we had our profile. The other thing I would suggest is worth looking at from time to time is making sure your link in bio is up to date. That's something I forget to update. So if you have a new offer or class or whatever, you might want to change it.
And the other thing is that link is, and I learned this from Jen Herman, you know, you want to make sure that if you're not a business account, now business account, you have there's some analytics that are tied into that. But if you have your own account and you have that link in there, make it a bit.ly link, because otherwise it gets wrapped up in kind of like the other thing in your Google Analytics, and you can't tell the traffic you're getting from Instagram. So if you're really a data nerd, like most of us who watch this are, you want to make sure it's a bit.ly link, because that way you can track it and say, oh, I'm getting this from Instagram. I've gotten, you know, people are clicking on my profile, and if you, especially if you're optimizing that profile with all the new tools, then that's something you want to look at too.
Yes, absolutely. Good point. Now, Carolyn Joseph, is joining us here, and she recently discovered that you can link your Facebook and Instagram accounts. I think that's a great thing to mention, because you might want to reconsider that. For a while, I had my Instagram account linked to my Facebook business page, because if you have a business Instagram account, it can only be the profile. I had kind of gotten away from all business and was doing some personal Instagram posts, and it really wasn't appropriate to have them still connected. So I would go into your profile and check and see what you have connected. So do you have it automatically going to Facebook, automatically going to Twitter? And do you still really want that?
And I've had it be a little janky before when I've connected them, because like I manage multiple accounts, and when you have that drop down, I've had it before where it wouldn't connect to one, or it would actually try to connect to another one. So they may have gotten that ironed out, but Facebook has been doing a lot of changing behind the scenes lately. So you want to double check that, because things have happened. I've actually had a post go to the wrong account when I specifically said to go to a different account. So that's no bueno there. So, you know, you know, that's not good when you're managing accounts for people. So make sure that, especially with all the stuff they're going on. I mean, Facebook Live's been really wanky right now, and even stuff with Be Live is just, they're going through some stuff, trying and flipping switches, and who knows what that affects. So just be wary of that kind of stuff.
So it might be a good time just to do your little spring cleaning. Lori was looking to add a hashtag to her profile and didn't see where to put it, but it goes right in your bio. Right? There's nothing special you need to do.
Yeah, there's not a specific field or section that you put it. It just allows that they're clickable in your bio. I mean, so they're almost another kind of link kind of feel to it. So people can click on those and go to that hashtag. So that's why I really like and suggest using a branded hashtag that you use for your, like, you know, Elisa's would be, you know, Princess Promoted Pins hashtag, you know, and mine is hashtag Manly Pinterest Tips. And for like Social Media Examiner, it's, you know, hashtag Social Media Examiner or hashtag Social Media Marketing World 18. You know, when we're having that push, is we change the hashtag for that. So that's really cool. So
that it would be really fun if you were doing a contest that involved a hashtag as well. So you could say, check out all the other entries, hashtag.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Okay, I love that idea. All right, the other thing I was thinking is that your profile image, I think we have a tendency to forget what's there. And if we've updated on other profiles, you probably want to keep that consistent.
Right. And the other thing is in your profile photo, you want to make sure that, especially for brands, because I run into this before, because a lot of times when a logo was created, they weren't thinking about Instagram at all. And so it's either too small or it doesn't make sense in the circle or it's cropped off weird. And so there's some finagling you have to do to make sure that your brand looks good and is recognizable in that Instagram profile. So just be aware of that and kind of play with it and double check. Just don't upload it and set it and forget it. You kind of need to make sure that that's going to be recognized about, even on Pinterest, because they have the circle icon now that you need to make sure that, okay, does that make sense for my brand? Because I've really had some trouble with some of them that they're like an oval brand and putting them in a circle looks weird and you have to crop it funny. And so, it's interesting.
All right, so take a look at that. Now we also have something new in stories. I'm going to drop a link here in the chat as well. So what's going on in stories that we should probably be using now?
Yeah, so this just dropped today, and one of the things is mention stickers. And now you can mention, before you could just do it and it's a text, like if I was doing a story and I said, hey, I'm here at Social Media Marketing School with Elisa Meredith, and I could put at Elisa Meredith, her Instagram handle, and you could go see her there. Now there's stickers that do that you can resize, just kind of like location stickers or hashtag stickers that you could put on a story. So now they have these mention stickers, and they're really pretty cool. So, and they're resizable, and you can move them around and stuff. And that just rolled out today. They'd been testing them for a while, and they rolled out today for iOS. So I'm sure Android's coming down the pike soon. But right now, if you update your Instagram app, you should see those for iOS if you have an iPhone.
Yeah, and it looks pretty cool, like a little rounded rectangle with a colorful.
Yeah, and you can tap it and change kind of, just like you can with the hashtag stickers. You can tap it and kind of change the appearance a little bit. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I think it's a good feature. They're really, I think because of all the Facebook scandal stuff that's been going on, and Instagram is pretty much you haven't heard much about it, and so I think they're going to really try to roll out some features to keep it, some of the good stuff going on.
Good press. They really have been investing a lot in stories, which is cool. So they keep that up. Okay. Now let's move on to our updates. So something that I forget to do, maybe you do also, is I know you do.
You're being nice. But yes, I do. I forget all the time to do it. I'm usually and what she's talking about, are you sharing your appearances? Like if you're going to be on a live show, if you're speaking at a conference, if you have I would consider an appearance almost even a blog post. So, I mean, if anything you're being out there that you want people to see or share, to post that on Instagram. And I forget quite a bit. Now, blog posts I'm a little bit better about because you and I both talked about this before, is we have separate images. When we create our images for our blog posts, we have a Pinterest image, we have a blog post image, and we also have an Instagram image that we share out, the square version. So
yeah. So do you make your blog post image, other than the fact that you use a square, is there anything else you do differently?
No, not usually. I usually try to keep them the same. Here's another cool little tip that I don't know if you've thought about. Okay. And I've been doing this for some other brands that are really active on stories, is a lot of the stories, if you think about, you can take them and make them Pinterest pins if you do a good job. And they work because they're in that horizontal format. And so, like, if you do, like a lot of people who on Instagram will do a story where they do, they'll do like like, here's how you do something. Like in these five screenshots, we're going to show you how to do, how to schedule your post on Tailwind. And so you'll do a 5 screen. Well, you can take those and make those to be a GIF that rotate through those to do, and then you can upload those to Pinterest, and you have an animated graphic that shows up really good in the feed. So cross-pollination tip right there.
I like that idea. Okay, repurposing.
So, don't tell Kate I want credit for this. Kate doesn't credit for that one.
Okay.
It shows up in her feed. I want super credit for it.
Super credit.
I'm looking
no
at you,
problem. No problem. Okay.
So
all right, you're sharing your. I will say that when I make my Instagram image for a blog post, which I've been really neglectful about lately, sometimes I don't put any text on it. I just put all the text in the description. Not really sure what the effect of that is. I should probably check. But something else I wanted to share about your appearances. I feel like sometimes if I were to share every blog post, every podcast I'm on, the rare times I speak live, I feel like my Facebook page could become, or my Facebook account could be just like bragging, right?
Yeah, and I think Instagram, though, with the algorithm, just like Pinterest, not everybody sees everything. And so I think, if they went to the your profile view and you see your grid, they might go, oh man, at least it's really full of herself. But I don't think they would do that because Instagram is
that's what it's
the
for.
Place. Yeah, it's for selfies. It really is.
Yes.
And a lot of people use stories now to kind of bring you behind the scenes and update you on their day. So and people can skip that. So I would say it's worth making the effort if you're doing an appearance somewhere to do that. And I'm bad at about it too. But I'll tell you this thing: event organizers, if you get on top of your ball and if you make those for your speakers or your appearances, or even if somebody's doing a guest blog post for you, and you provide them those images, that is huge because then of course we're going to share it because we don't have to do anything.
That's right. That's right.
And so I think that's something we, if I have like a roundup post, or if I'm doing something where I'm bringing, guest people on, if I have a graphic for them and give it to them, I need to do that because that's going to get my stuff shared out a lot more. But sharing appearances, I think, is a big deal. And I don't think it's too much bragging if you're just going, hey,
I agree.
If you're here, I would love to see you, come up to me and say hi, or this is going to be free. And, if you watch it live, if you're doing some sort of summit or something like that, we'd really love you to see it. It's only going to be on this day. And then afterwards you have to pay for it or whatever. So I think it's almost a public service announcement. Hey, if you like my stuff, you're following me, you might like this too.
Agree.
Kind of thing.
Yep, totally agree. So. Yeah. And on the idea of supplying people with assets, Melissa at Tailwind and I were both separately on the same podcast. And both of us, when our podcast went live, we got an email with a whole zip folder of all the different size images, all the links. And it was just genius. Like no brainer. Of course, we're going to share that. So that was really clever and worked. All right. So I'm thinking too, I've gotten way off track with my branding. And part of that is because Instagram just isn't a major business focus for me. Perhaps it should be, but you have to figure out where you're going to spend your time. Right. But I think if it is important to you that it be branded properly, you want to really take a look at your 9 grid, right? So when people click to look at your profile, if you have a code, bring things back on.
Yeah. And so when I do my blog posts, mine always fit in that kind of retro theme. So that fits into my Instagram anyway, because even one of the things that makes mine work is because I use a vignette, which if you don't know what a vignette is, it's like the darkening of the corners and it kind of makes it look old timey. And so I use that a lot. And Instagram has a vignette and I use another app to create some more on top of that. But so all mine have that kind of same feel throughout the feed. So if you have your branding set, like you were mentioning, it's easier to go across platforms because they all look kind of similar and same.
Yep. Good deal. Okay. So there's something new that has rolled out for our updates. And, this is the reason I got the new iPhone. But now I don't need it anymore. So tell us about it.
Yeah. So this rolled out today too. It's the new Focus feature for Instagram, and this is coming to everybody, and it's rolling out right now. So like I said before, if you don't have it, make sure you go update your Instagram app on your phone. What it is, it's like what if you have the iPhone I think 7 or the Plus, the one that has the two cameras on it. If you have a portrait mode, you can take that where it blurs out the background if you get so far away. Well, Instagram came out with something today called Focus that allows you to use that even if you don't have a dual lens camera. It blurs out the background using some sort of algorithm. Now, you will notice sometimes a little bit of fuzzing on the edges, but I thought it didn't look bad. And the cool thing is, it's not just for photos, it's also for videos. So you can take videos with this effect. And it's built in. If you want to find out where it is, you just go to like your regular camera settings, like where boomerang is, and what's the other ones? Time lapse and some of those other ones.
Super zoom.
Super zoom, yeah. And it's right there, and it's called Focus, and you can take a picture or you can do video, and it's really, really cool. I thought it did a really great job of blurring the background out. And so, yeah, it just rolled out today. But I think, once again, not having to have a dual lens camera is really genius for Instagram to come out with, especially, kind of putting the nail in the coffin of Snapchat and some of their. I mean, Snapchat doesn't have this feature, and so it's very, very cool. So it's called Focus if you're looking for it on your app.
Okay, love that. Okay, so check out all those things. Make sure you're using all the new things for your Instagram account. Get a fresh look for spring. Okay, something else cool that's going on that you said relates to your project.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shoppable posts.
Instagram has expanded shopping to more countries. For a while, it was to the U.S. Now it's rolled out to like Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany. And for me, the cool thing is, and this is how I use it for a client. So we have on our Facebook page, we have it. So it's a store. So we can have products on there. And it's not, we don't even have it on this particular store. We don't have it tied into Shopify or anything. It actually goes to the checkout to their page on their site. So when you create a product in Facebook, you upload a picture, you put a description, you put the price, and then to check out is you just put the link to like where they would check out on your store. So you don't have to have Shopify or something like that. Well, it creates a shoppable post where I can actually tag products on an image that I put up on Facebook. Well, the cool thing is once you do that on Facebook, it's the same thing on on Instagram. So I work for a candy company. I do their Facebook and Instagram. And so once I put a thing of their new truffles on Facebook, it automatically adds that ability to tag that product on Instagram. So it's very, very cool. So when I post that to Instagram, people can click on the Instagram post and go right to their shopping checkout on their phone, and they can complete the purchase. So it's really cool because it's a dual places. One of the things it does, it's been kind of hinky lately where it has to process for some reason when you upload it to Facebook, and sometimes it just takes a while to load. The other option, if you have a Shopify website, it does the same kind of thing. So like for my Manly Plunder brand, I can actually have those kind of pins when I post to Instagram be shoppable. I mean, not photos to Instagram be shoppable as well. So, and I keep getting confused because Shopify also works for Pinterest, where I can have shoppable pins as well. So
it's buyable pins, shoppable pins.
Yes, I love Shopify. So if you have a product and you've been on the fence about e-commerce, I tell you, Shopify. I built websites forever, and I hated doing e-commerce websites. But Shopify makes it so easy. I mean, it's so nice. There is a little waiting period to get that turned on and everything integrated to your Facebook store. But now if I have a new product, I upload it to Shopify, I say I want it to be on Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook, and it just takes care of it for me.
That's so crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. So from a consumer point of view, when you see an Instagram update, you have a little shopping bag in the bottom left corner, and then anything that you can buy from the image is going to be tagged with the item title and the price. You just click on that and you go and purchase, and people give you money.
The cool thing is you can do it for just one product, but for for the candy company, we share pictures of like multiple products in a nice, pretty layout, and I can tag each one of those, and people can shop and buy each one of those separately. So you're not just saying, okay, I can only tag one thing in here. I mean, I've tagged up to 4 or 5 different items in an Instagram post where people can go and buy those. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. So Pinterest has given us another little treat for spring called the new post button. What is that about?
I mean, Instagram. You said Pinterest.
I did.
Yeah. So I have not gotten this yet, but supposedly they're going to help, because some people there's always complaints about, I want my chronological feed. And if you've ever noticed on Instagram when you're scrolling through it, and if you wait a while and a new post hits you, it bumps you up to the top.
So annoying.
Yes. So they're changing that. So there's going to be a button that actually, when you click on it, it'll take you to this new post. It won't lose your place in the feed.
Oh, good.
And so, it's not going to happen automatically. So they're testing that. and they're making these changes to ensure that these newer posts are more likely to appear in the feed. So they're rolling that out and testing that. So
okay. Now, if anybody here would like us to give you some spring cleaning tips for your own Instagram account, please put in your Instagram link, and we'll get to a few of those at the end. Yes. But we have another change. This one's kind of technical, Jeff. So I'm mostly interested in, okay, what does this mean for us? So we have some API changes coming down the line. What does that mean for you?
Here's the good news. If you're using Tailwind, they are a trusted developer for Facebook, and they have the official API. It's from what I understand, it's these other developers who weren't using the full. They were using like this older API access. They weren't what Tailwind is, and some of the other ones. If you go to Instagram site, you can find out. But what are you guys called? The official development partners? What is it?
Yeah, a Facebook and Instagram partner. I think it might be marketing partner, but I'm not sure.
So that's why you always want to make sure you're getting these apps from people who are trusted by the brands. Because what's happened now is they were going to say, we're going to roll back this API. You're not going to be able to use it anymore. And it's going to happen in July of 2018. Well, with everything happened to Facebook, they said, sorry, we're just going to cut it all off now. And so a lot of these apps and the users of those apps were left high and dry because they weren't official partners, and they just cut off their access to it. And so a lot of things broke for people, and it didn't work. So that's, once again, and you've heard us say it before with the Tailwind for Pinterest and Tailwind for Instagram. You want to always keep with people, with the companies that are in partnership with the official product, because otherwise this is what can happen. Your tools are broken. You can't post, or things that you had been doing for clients are gone. And so there was kind of a mad scramble that way. But if you had Tailwind, you were fine.
And when you say all that's going on with Facebook, of course, that's with privacy concerns and the protection of people's data. And that's one of the things about being a partner, is that you have to follow these very high standards to make sure that people's data is protected. So that's one of the advantages there. But I'm glad that they're doing that and being responsible. So we do have some volunteers. So let's share my screen. And we have, can you see my screen, Jeff?
No, but I have the link. If it's which are you doing?
King and I crochet.
Okay, let me go get that one real quick, and I'll pull it up.
Okay. King and I crochet.
Let's see, you sound like a robot.
Like a robot.
Okay. Oh, this is great. These are pretty. This is really, really.
It's beautiful. Okay, so what do we see? We see the profile picture is, I think her name's Claire. She's in a big chunky knit scarf looking to the side, but it's enough of her face that we can see who she is, and we can see she's smiling. I love the profile image. But what I really love are her individual posts.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Goodness. There's no doubt what this person does, right?
Right. And I think it's a great account. I think it's I don't see anything wrong with it, actually.
Right. But I wonder, okay, we have a non-Bitly link here, which might be okay if it's a business account. But here we have a link for next.co.uk catalog. I wonder if it's possible that she could tag their account, so that if her content shows up in their account, people could see that.
Mm-hmm. Let me look at. I want to look at it on my mobile, because one of the things is it has the shop link there. I don't know if these are shoppable posts or not, because on a desktop app you can't
you wouldn't see.
Tell.
Yeah.
So let me look and see if those are shoppable links.
Okay. Well, I want to point out too that there's this one image. It's a desk. You're looking from the top, and the chair next to the desk has a big chunky crocheted blanket on it. So it's like almost every single post has what she does in it. She's also put some usernames in a post, which is cool. Kind of give a shout out to some other people.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way she writes her descriptions too. Those of you who follow my Instagram stories may have seen this last week. This, my friend, is a sitting room. It's beautiful, beautiful photo mentioning famous people, good use of hashtags, lots of comments, and she's always replying to them like a real person.
Right.
Great use of emojis. Yeah, I think she's
I will
doing
say
great.
one thing that's
Please.
about. I did click on the link,
Uh-huh.
and it gave me a 404 error. So
No.
yeah, we want to make sure that that link works, especially if it's going
Yes.
to a shop. None of the images that I see are shoppable. So if you're trying to sell stuff, I would see about putting some shoppable links in there where they can actually go in and purchase some of the stuff if you're wanting to sell it. So, but yeah, as far as visually, the account looks awesome. I just they're very cute pictures.
They are.
It
Yeah.
looks great, and her profile looks awesome. She's got some actual story highlights that
Oh, cool.
that are on there from a photo shoot and some other ones, which is very, very cool. So the other thing, if you're trying to grow your account, so she's got 2,000 followers, which is great.
Mhm.
I would maybe experiment with some, and she's looks like she's trying out a bunch of different hashtags, but maybe try to maybe even niche down some more and see if she can get in some more of the knitting groups for people to follow her. But yeah, I don't really see anything else.
Yeah. And I think it says as seen in. So if you were in British Vogue or House Beautiful magazine or anything recently, I would definitely tag them now that we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's find another one. We've got
There's one from the Jolly Hostess.
Okay, let's do that. This is Alana.
Yes.
Okay. Oops. It would help if I shared my screen, wouldn't it?
Now I'm hungry. It's right lunchtime for me. I know we have to do this.
Yes, we have to do this. Okay, so the Jolly Hostess and her profile photo. I like it, but I'm looking at it on desktop, and I have a feeling that the lack of contrast will make it really hard to see on mobile. So, Jeff, you can check that out for me.
Yeah, I see that, and I would almost maybe. I know she's holding up some food, but that's big on desktop. But I bet it's almost impossible to see what she's holding up on mobile. So
Agreed.
I would really, for the profile picture, would really like to see her face almost centered and inside there, so we know who that is, and that would be the only thing I would say there. And it looks like she may be switching out her links for her recipes in Instagram. So that's a great idea to do. But once again, because it's right now going to her white cheddar fig grilled cheese.
Oh, my word.
Which
sounds like lunch.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
But I would maybe make that a Bitly link as well, and say, so you could track that. It might be a little harder to track, or even doing a UTM or something. I don't know. But Bitly would probably be the best because it's a really long URL.
It is. And I would say her updates are beautiful. So she has gorgeous staging for her food, and now I'm hungry too. But her profile photo deserves that same attention. So this to me looks like a snapshot, right? There's kind of a busy background. Her shirt kind of blends with the food, blends with the background. I think more attention should be given to that profile photo because you deserve it.
And it looks like she's doing really well with stories, because as soon as I picked up her account on mobile, I got the little circle that said, hey, she's got a story. So that's really cool. And now with some of this, the new app mentions that you can put in stories, you may try some of that to maybe get some more exposure for some accounts that you want to work with or partner with, or that want maybe to share your stuff. Tons of hashtags on the first one I'm looking at. So maybe, once again, when we're talking about spring cleaning, and I know I need to do this on a lot of my accounts, is go back and check if those hashtags are still where I need to be.
Yeah.
Because you want to have a balance of the, some niche ones and some wider ones, but you don't want to go for the super million, because it's really hard to rank, in those. So yeah. I'm starving now.
I'm so sorry. Now, I'll have to say I'm confused about something. Okay. Ideas appetizer champagne is kind of her description of her, the beginning of the description of her account. I'm seeing one bottle of champagne. Ooh, there's another. Okay, so maybe does that still fit your focus? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of cheesy, yummy comfort food. So I don't know if that's really reflective of the business still, fine. But I'm just telling, what I'm seeing. And definitely, if you're doing a story with this brand of champagne here, you definitely want to tag them, because maybe next time they will pay you $100 million to post their champagne.
That would be great.
Wouldn't it be great? I'd be so happy for you. So again, this is the Jolly Hostess on Instagram. So thank you for sharing that with us, Alana. We have, Visit Muskegon. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so we have a local kind of account.
Put that
Hold on. Yep. Oops, I didn't grab that link apparently.
Okay, cool. So it looks like it's let's see here. It's the official Visit Muskegon account. Mm-hmm. So look, they've already got the hashtag in there. So she's already doing the having the hashtag where people can click on kind of the branded one. And if you click on it, it goes there and it shows the top post. So very, very cool. And some of hers I see are already ranking in there. So that's cool. I also like, and I don't think people do this enough, is reposts. And, one of the things that we do for the candy company that's worked really well is I find so many people who will @mention us or tag us on Instagram when they take photos of the candy in their store, mm-hmm. or they've tried it for the first time or whatever. And so then I jump in there and say, hey, can I reshare this? Because I think you always need to ask, is it okay? And get at least written permission in the post that says, yes, we'd love for you. And I've never had anybody said, no, don't share our stuff. And so then I'll take that and share it to our account. And they love that. And the cool thing is I found that a lot of times those companies will be sharing that on Facebook as well. And so then I can go to our Facebook account and share that on another channel, because they usually have the same picture on Facebook and Instagram. And that just lets me build a lot of goodwill for people. So if you're a brand that's selling to in other brands, like brick and mortar stores, like we do with the Chocolate Factory, it's a great way to build relationships, because they love it that the brand is involved in looking at their stuff and then sharing that on the brand's account. So that's a great tip. And it looks like she's doing the same thing here. And that's a great way for people who are taking vacation photos and just giving them some love. So I just think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I like this suggestion here, or the invitation to use Visit Muskegon as a hashtag to share your adventures and photos with us. So we can even click on that in here and see what we get for results. And that's probably, like you said, where they're finding these images to repost. So when you ask for permission, you're asking in the comments? So if I wanted to reshare this, I would ask here.
Yeah. So what happens is I usually get tagged. Somebody says, hey, they'll tag us on a chocolate photo. And then I'll go in there and say, hey, we love this. Thanks so much. Do you mind if we share to our social accounts? And every time they say yes. And so that to me is enough for me to go and use it. And then I do what she does and use the repost app, which gives them credit, puts a little watermark there where it shows their account name, because I do want to give them credit for that, and then share that out on our social channels. And I don't change any of their hashtags and stuff. And I don't tag it I don't put our location on it, because I think what I'll usually say is, hey, if you're ever in, Austin, Texas, make sure you go visit this store. They do a great job. This is a great photo. Thanks so much. And so I don't want to steal any of their juice,
right?
Because I'm taking their picture. I don't want to steal that and put my location, because that's just, to me, is cheesy. Okay. So I want to give them the love, because they're sharing our product and they're buying our product to sell to others.
They're advertising for you. Yeah. So that got me looking at whether they're geotagging their updates, and they are. Oh, and by the way, you can repost with the Tailwind app, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Now, how do you feel about their profile photo? It is a picture, looks like someone's feet in the lake with Visit Muskegon, I guess a logo over it.
Yeah, they're probably in a tough situation where that's the logo and they have to deal with that. And so that does, I would almost maybe try to put something behind it. So like a white, like gradient or something, and maybe have the bottom part a solid color. So the Muskegon stands out more. But I do like the feet in the water, because that just, conveys relaxation, and it's a cool place to visit and that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
that's the only problem I see, is it's hard to read the visit part. So
It is, and I wondered how important it would be to be able to read that on the profile when it's very obvious what it is by your username and by the name as well.
And that would be something to experiment with.
Yeah.
Like try it for a month with just a great image of like your beaches.
Yeah, like this one, gorgeous.
Yeah, and see how that performs.
Yeah,
and see what if your profile views go up, especially since your business account, you can track that, which is really cool to see how many people see your profile, and go from there. But once again, I know visit Muskegon.org is like there, but it's going to be hard to track. And if you're working for these people, you want all the credit you can get.
So you do.
being able to say, hey, this many people clicked on our link is really cool.
Absolutely. And golden doodle. Every Instagram account needs a golden doodle photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think well done. It looks that video did really well, but it looks to me like your landscape photos are doing the best. So that sounds to me like a good excuse for a field trip every week. Go out and take 10 photos of Muskegon.
And this would be cool. This would be like a great way to do a contest. Like, we want the best Muskegon sunset photos. You know, we're going to rank them and give them a T-shirt or whatever or something. You know, might be fun to do. So you can get a lot of user-generated content that way.
Yes, good idea. Okay, you want to take one more?
Sure.
Okay. We have. Oh, this sounds interesting. Bill Ashton has Stop Jet Lag. I don't know what to expect.
I'm trying to find that one. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, just Stop Jet Lag.
It's Bill Ashton. Yeah, I know Bill.
Do you know Bill? Hey, Bill. Yeah. Okay, it's taking a while to load up the images for me. Stop jet lag. Discover how to stop jet lag on your next trip with 3 little arrows pointing down.
Oh, that's funny. The leopard's sleepy, but so this is an interesting one. The link, once again, you know, I would shorten it up, and it feels like a travel site, but it's not. That's not really your brand. So, and I see you're doing a lot of reposting on here, but I'm a little confused. I mean, on the stop jet lag part, are you wanting it to? So that's my thing, is I'm a little bit confused.
Okay.
Of what it's supposed to, what the Instagram account supposed to portray.
Well, I tell you, I'm maybe even more confused than you, because my desktop will not load any of those photos. So I'm all I can see really on the desktop is the profile photo. Oh, here they start coming in. Okay, and it's very like clip art in the profile photo,
which I don't have a problem with, because that may be their logo and it's centered, and it's, if they're stuck with that, then that's fine. Because it does have kind of an icon, but it doesn't tell me. I mean, my thing is more of the images. I'm confused. I mean, it's all reposts. I don't see anything else. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they're great photos, but it doesn't tell me anything about stop jet lag.
Right. They're beautiful photos, in fact. The leopard and the pagoda.
This would be something, if you're trying to get people to your website to sell them a product on how to stop jet lag. So I'm going to go there. So it's an all-natural cure for jet lag. So what I would do is either get quotes, and this may be one of those times where you would have quotes, like some good quote graphics about, stopping jet lag. Or I use, people on here who are like, now I can sleep. This is a tough one for Instagram. It really is.
It really is. Yes. Yeah. I think it's going to go back to your content strategy. It looks like it might be just one landing page, which is tough. So if you're not blogging about it, it's tough. Right. So you're going to have to basically make your Instagram into mini blog posts, which you could definitely do. Talk about jet lag. You could talk about long distance travel, how to get good deals on flights. All kinds of things you could talk about, but I agree that the photos are beautiful, but they really don't connect to what you're trying to do.
And you do have there's some quotes on your landing page that you might be able to use and make some good quote graphics, and talk about that. And, um, this account, maybe it would do better with stories. Like if somebody's traveling, having them talk about, hey, I just got in. Luckily, I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because I'm using Stop Jet Lag or whatever, and tell that as a story. I just think it's going to be really hard with what this is when they're just reposts. I know they're travel photos and I know people travel, but I don't know. It just seems to disconnect to me.
Yep, I agree with you. So it seems like you probably might have to be one of those people that has a content strategy. Like on Mondays, I post tips on getting good travel deals. On Tuesday, I post tips specifically on stopping jet lag. On Wednesdays, I post pictures of, user generated content. On Thursdays, I get on and I talk about jet lag, right?
Right.
So I think that that's going to be what you're going to need to do, because it doesn't look like there's a content strategy for the site itself. So
tough one. This is a tough one.
I would be interested to know, to know how much traffic you're getting from Instagram, and it may not be able to tell because it's not a Bitly link. Yeah, so that's kind of tough.
Okay, it's an app, so it sounds. I'm reading Bill's some comments on here. So, that's our logo for a Stop Jet Lag app. So, he's just starting out with this in Tailwind, and so it looks like So, Bill, it says quotes in Instagram stories. I would actually take quotes from your users and people from the app, and make use something like WordSwag or Canva, and making a good quote graphic about that and putting it on there, and then interspersing it with maybe even some video posts on Instagram talking about the Stop Jet Lag program and app, and having that user, because to be honest, we struggle with this as Social Media Examiner because we only have one product and it's our conference, and we use pictures from our conference to tell the story of what it's about that we can post out throughout the year. And so we take people who have been to the conference, and we're filming them and saying how great the conference is, and we'll make video posts of that and post those to Instagram as well as we do it to stories. So I would try to get some testimonials or even some demos of the app, of you showing or somebody showing how the app works. People like that, have a picture of somebody sleeping, and I just used the app to help me do this and this. And so look at other app companies and see what they're doing on Instagram, and see if there's some ideas you can grab from those people, because that's what I would do, just because it's such a niche focused thing. Look and see what other apps are doing.
Yeah, there's a good suggestion too from Sean Teasley to possibly stage a photo of taking the product on the plane with the tray table down and a cup of water. That you could probably do quite a few of those. That would work. I think also in the description you want to mention that it's an app, because I don't know what it is just looking at it. So yeah, I think there's some potential there. And by the way, Alana is glad she made us both hungry, so I think that means she owes us a sandwich.
That's right. I want a sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. So we didn't get to quite all the questions, but I appreciate everybody being here. Jeff, do you have any final thoughts? What are you working on this week?
I'm doing some Instagram stuff and breaking some of this news. You guys actually got it first, but we're going to break some more of this Instagram stuff on the Social Media Examiner channel.
Where can we see that?
I'm sure we'll talk about it on Friday. Okay. Eric and I are going to be going there live later this afternoon. So
okay, so it'll be on Facebook. Just search for Social Media Examiner. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. Alrighty. So we will see you back here again real soon with everything new on Pinterest and all the things to make your Instagram marketing easy. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks,
Bye,
Jeff.
everybody.